A fantasy world of swords and magic system was always the greatest romance in every boy's heart. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm W. Today I would like to recommend to you a novel about the game system. But the protagonist is very cheating and can kill the boss instantly at level 1. If you love Baldur's Gate 3 and want to have more experience than in the game, you must watch the following video and read the web novel, Mages Are Too OP. The story happens in an immersive game called World of Falan. MC Roland spent a lot to purchase this game and chose Mage as his profession. When he just logged in, he arrived in a small town. He could not speak to anyone because villagers didn't speak the same language as he did. He checked his dashboard and found an elementary spell, Language Proficiency, which was supposed to enhance his linguistic abilities. To his surprise, as he uttered the incantation, his head exploded. Of course, it wasn't his real head, but his character's head. The sensation felt eerily authentic. World of Falan was no ordinary virtual reality game. It seemed to blur the lines between reality and fantasy. Even the pain he experienced, though reduced to 1/10 of its usual intensity, felt remarkably real. As Roland adjusted to this wild new world, a figure entered the scene, capturing his attention. The man, named Falcon, had eyebrows that rivaled those of Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings. He appeared so lifelike that it was as if he had been plucked from reality and inserted into the game. His facial expressions were uncannily accurate, bordering on the creepy. Roland couldn't help but wonder whether Falcon was an NPC or a fellow player. The suspense was enough to drive him crazy. Under Falcon's guidance, Roland began to explore the small town. It wasn't long before he found himself face to face with a colossal spider. Fortunately, the spider seemed oblivious to his presence, providing an opportunity for Roland to escape. However, his attention was diverted to 3 terrified children huddled in a tree nearby. Roland's compassionate nature couldn't allow him to abandon them. The game's settings had made it clear that all non-playable characters or NPCs were unique and would never respawn. He reassured himself,
"I'm just a player in a game. There's no need to be scared. I must save these children."
With determination, he hurled rocks, cast spells, and tried everything in his power to save the children. He picked up the stick beside him and used all his strength to insert the stick into the spider's head, giving it a fatal blow. Roland was willing to sacrifice himself to ensure their safety. Suddenly, a system notice flashed before him. Leap to the nearest resurrection point. After his rebirth, Roland found Falcon waiting for him in the chapel. The old man expressed his gratitude for Roland's heroic act in saving the lives of the 3 children. Curious about his earlier failure with a spell, Roland asked Falcon,
"Why couldn't I cast the spell successfully?"
In his previous attempts, he had seen various lines and notes while casting the spell, but it always ended in his head exploding. Falcon responded. Roland's eyes widened with newfound understanding. He devised a new plan for using magic, meticulously marking the coordinates of magic nodes like a skilled mathematician. It was akin to magic modeling, a systematic approach to harnessing his powers. Roland experimented with different nodes, but disaster struck when a massive fireball went out of control. Panic set in as explosions erupted, chaos ensued, and the town descended into frenzy. Despite thinking he had mastered the supposedly inferior spell, he realized he couldn't have been more wrong. The magic power went haywire, resulting in a colossal fireball that dwarfed the surrounding forest. To his surprise, Roland discovered that his disastrous magic experiment. He logged out of the game and uploaded a video of the explosion to the forum, creating a thread titled, "Roland's Experience with Inferior Fireball." Within a few hours, the thread garnered significant attention, being stickied, highlighted, and recommended by the community. The response was overwhelming, with thousands of people praising him and even tipping him with an astonishing amount totaling $50,000. Roland was astounded by the profitability of sharing his magical experiments. Yes. If he continued uploading such content, he wouldn't even need to work anymore. Eager to dive back into the game, Roland triggered a new quest called Searching for the Missing Children. According to the quest details, the missing child had declared their intention to travel the world as a mercenary before heading west. Falcon had mentioned a group of trolls hiding in the western forest who were formidable opponents. Roland wasted no time and raced towards the trolls' location. The forest had an eerie atmosphere, adorned with bone totems that sent shivers down his spine. Employing his inferior fireball and hand of magic spells, he vanquished the trolls one by one. After a careful search, he discovered the quest objective, a dry skull mounted on a peculiar totem. Disgusted but compelled to complete the quest, he retrieved the skull and made his way back to the town. Upon returning, Roland sought out the old couple who were central to the quest. However, instead of the grief-stricken reaction he expected, the weary old woman leaped to her feet, shouting,
My grandson is not dead! What a mean thing to say, I'll beat you!
Confused, Roland handed over the dry skull to her. She froze momentarily, her eyes glittering with astonishment. She embraced the skull tightly, raising it before her husband's eyes. In response, the old man smiled with a sense of peaceful contentment. Roland couldn't help but feel a profound sense of strangeness. Why were they smiling instead of grieving? A day later, while Roland was engrossed in practicing his magic, he noticed a blaze engulfing a house near the lake. Without hesitation, he shouted and sprinted towards the inferno. The fire had consumed the wooden structure, leaving little hope for anyone inside to have survived. It felt wrong, deeply unsettling. The system notice abruptly interrupted Roland's thoughts.
Quest accomplished. EXP plus 376. Reputation minus 10.
Confusion washed over him. What did it mean? Why would his reputation decrease? He had never encountered a game that downgraded players. Did he do something wrong? Roland couldn't help but pause, his mind filled with questions about the nature of the game and what the future held. If you want to discover the answers to these mysteries, Roland's journey through the World of Falan, and the incredible adventures that await him, you must read the book Mages Are Too OP. It will take you on a roller coaster ride of laughter, cringing moments, and cheering for Roland as he navigates the realm of magical mayhem. This immersive world offers more than just your typical gaming experience, rivaling even the acclaimed Baldur's Gate 3. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because you're in for an exhilarating and unpredictable adventure!